Hey, good. Welcome back to Ordinary E. Back on this PC build. So we have done the fans. They're ready for clear coat, and I'm not too happy about this. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's not come out great. I'm not going to mess about with it, but the yellow has now shown through, so that's definitely the technique to do the way around it, which is to prime it and then put the colour on top of that, not directly onto the blue. So that's what we're going to do on the case. So let's start tackling the case, guys. Alright, so here's the case. I'm going to get rid of all these stickers everywhere. Stickers here, stickers there, don't know what they are. Rub it down, and I'm going to do the first part of the design here, and then we're going to spray it. When I say rub it down, sand it down to make it, I mean, I don't think it needs to, because it's got quite a rough textured finish. Definitely this would need it because that's smoother. I've got to take out all these parts, otherwise they'll get sprayed, or maybe just block them up, something like that. Those black buttons? Yeah, sure. Maybe we spray those yellow. So that's the idea. I'm not going to obviously film everything because I'm trying to get this done quick, but just going to sand it down. Then we're going to prime it with the first part of the design there, because the first part of the design is going to be black. So I might as well keep this black here. I'm going to try and mimic the design on this side as well, so both sides will have similar. Yeah, let's get into it. So first task is to take out, if I can, all the AO stuff at the front, sand it down, and then primer it. I'm not going to paint inside this time because there was too many fumes and it's all over the table. I made a mess. It's been great fun, but not good for your health, I don't think. So we'll try and take this outside in the freezing cold weather and do it there. Yeah, let me do what I just said and we'll come back to it. Hey, so I thought I'd just share with you a quick tip that I've learned. So I'm taking stickers off because these are a pain. So on the first, I soak it with some cleaner, right? Get that soaked in. Then scrape it off. I'm using this pry tool, but scrape off the sticker. I'm doing it, but you scrape off the sticker, right? The problem with that though, it leaves behind the sticky residue underneath. But what takes that off is IPA. Who knew? So you put IPA on there, and then you can scrape that off. It comes off easier. I'll just do a small area to show you. You can see the difference between that and that. So that gets rid of the residue underneath. Just thought I'd share that with you. Never mind. Alright, so we've scratched up all the surfaces. We are ready to prime now, guys. We are ready to prime. So just scratched up all the surfaces. I actually did a mistake. I want to keep some of the black, but anyway, I got black paint, so we can rectify that. Yep. So just keyed it very gently with, well, not gently, but with 400 grit. So give the primer something to stick to. And now we're going to take it outside in the freezing cold and prime all of these pieces. Hopefully that works. So I will take you outside with me, I think. Alright. Also put just some protective cardboard in there, see if I can stop some paint getting inside, but doesn't matter if it does, right? Alright, let's go and paint it. Alright guys, we're outside and we are about to spray the primer on top of the yeah, we're just going to do a couple of coats of primer outside and then we'll do a design on it. Yeah, so let's get into it, man. Outside a bit wet, but it's not windy, so it should work out alright. Let's do the first coat. There you go guys, there's the first coat. All nice and white. And I think as I do, that one was first, and as I do, so that one was first. As I get round to doing these, and then those over there, and then I'll come back on here, do another coat. So I'm going to do 2 or 3 coats of this, and we should be done with a primer. Then we can rub it down. Cool. There we go guys, all primed up. 3 coats I did. We've got a little visitor on this one. I don't know if you can see that little fly. So we're ready to rub them down when they dry. We'll take them inside to do that, and then we'll come back out and we'll paint them with the theme. See you then. Alright guys, we're back inside. We had a bit of a disaster. It started chucking down rain. Look, you can see all the pans got wet. Hopefully it was dry enough to not affect it, but there is some marks on it already. No. So hopefully this doesn't affect it. I think it was drying enough. We shall see. We'll rub it down. If anything, we'll have to do a reprimer. But this does mean, because I've got to give this 24 hours to cure before we do the paint. I've got to give that 24 hours to cure before I do, you know, the pattern. And I'm going to give that 24 hours to cure. So that's going to take me past Christmas. It's definitely not going to get done before Christmas, especially if I can't paint outside. I'm going to have to figure out something to paint inside. But yeah, fun times. So let this dry down, and then we'll rub it down and see if we can get onto the paint colour. Yeah, it was going well until then. Anyway. Alright people, it's the next day and everything seems to have dried okay. We've survived the wet weather. It's still raining this morning, so I'm not going to be able to paint outside again. We're going to do the design on here now first, so we can spray inside and it's not going to create too much fumes. But what I might do first of all is deal with these parts, so we can have a little reveal at the end of this video. We'll just put a little bit of clear coat, even though this doesn't really need it because it's quite shiny. But we're going to take this off and see what this looks like, and if this method worked. If this method worked, so we can learn from this to see how we're going to put the design on here. I'm not too happy with this way, so what I might do is use tape and spray the coloured parts first, let that cure, then protect that and put the blue all over because it's going to be majority blue. Yeah, so I think we'll deal with these first, get these done, so by the end of this video we can reveal these, and that would be nice to see some progress. Put the power supply back together because there's screws over there that I'm going to forget where they go, and then we can just maybe start on parts of the design on the case. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. We're not going to meet Christmas Day because there's 2 or 3 days left, so that's not a problem. We'll deal with that, but we'll clear coat these first so that these are curing, and by the end of the video we can reveal these parts. So let's get on to it. Alright, so let's start with this. Let's see what this looks like underneath. Now I just stuck this down with double-sided sticky tape, so hopefully it comes off. Oh, it's not coming off too good. Okay. Yeah, not too great around there, is it? like I said, we're not going to see the power supply, so hopefully it won't matter. But it was good to learn off of this first before we did the main PC. Okay, this is going to take a while. Let me try and finish this up and get rid of all this paper and see what it looks like at the end of this. Alright guys, so I've taken the most of the stencil off, and as you can see it's not turned out great. Probably get this bit off as well, but yeah, I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to sand it back down and we're going to start again. That's what we do with that. That's a shame. So after the disappointment of that, we're going to have to figure out a different way of how we're going to be putting any sort of patterns on our main case. What we can do is we're going to clear coat these fans, because these fans are the only things that are okay at the moment, so we'll do that. Alright, we're ready to do our first clear coat. Let's do that. Alright, going in coat number 2. Alrighty, so those are now done, clear coated, looking nice, looking nice. So we'll let those dry off. The power supply shroud is completely mullered, so we're going to move on to these parts. I think I'm going to go with the yellow here, so we have to figure out something else to do the patterns, because that is not going to work. So I'm going to do the buttons. This came off separately, so I'm going to do the buttons yellow, and then we'll do the case blue, and we're going to have to figure something else out after do the design. So let's spray these yellow. Alright, let's see how we're looking. Alright, we've got the colour we kind of want. It's a bit green than I want, but that's fine. We'll live with that. I'm not going to mess about with these too much. This is what I was worried about. When you put a layer of paint, it doesn't quite go back in. Gonna have to sand these down so that they are not so stiff. But yeah, okay, we're not going to mess about with these too much. We're just going to put a clear coat on these now, and we'll call it done. Otherwise I'll mess it up. Hey, so just jumping across, I'm now started on the blue face plate of the case. So just doing the final coat for this, and then that's that bit done. And yeah, just going to carry on painting, guys. I'll show you some snippets and bits of me painting parts of the case. What's up, guys? Okay, so we finished the face plate now. That's all nice and blue. We're going to put that to the side and let that dry for 24 hours. Give you an update on this. Yeah, it's not looking good. So I've now rubbed it all down. It was all the sticky back, you know, the double-sided tape couldn't get it off. I've now rubbed it all down. Whatever that iridescent paint is really tough and all cracked. So we're going to just finish this back up and redo it. I don't know what that is, but we're just going to redo it, make it as good as we can. As I said, it's just a power supply. It was a practice piece, and it's made me rethink how we're going to do the iridescent on the main PC case. I think I'm just going to get a paintbrush and iridescent paint or enamel paint and then paint it onto the main case instead of spray painting, because I don't know, that spray paint is just not working for me. So it's all rubbed down. I probably need more primer, which I've run out of now, so I'm going to get that. Or I may just spray this blue and make that look pretty again like it did, sort of similar to that side. Don't know where those streaks have come from. Interesting. But yes, just to end this video on that note, let's unwrap our fans and see what these look like. Alright, there we have it guys, our first piece of the puzzle done. Nice gold fans with black rims. What does that remind you of? Blue and iridescent yellow, 555. Come on now, what are your guesses? Put it in the comments below. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'm obviously going to carry on working. As I said, short, sharp videos are coming out. All you got to do is subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram. And yeah, let me know your comments. Any good, bad, or don't comment at all. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, check those out. What do you think? Cool? They look cool, right? Alright guys, see you on the next video. Cheers. Oh yeah, and if I don't see you, Merry Christmas. Or have a happy Christmas.